Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very short CADS podcast tonight. We're just here looking pre-match at the Nottingham Forest game, which we're playing tonight now, but probably later today as you hear this. And I've got John here with me. How you doing, John?
I'm all right. I'm fine.
Right.
Now,
are you going to the match?
I'll be there tomorrow. Yeah.
You'll be there.
Whether I can persuade my son to come with me or not, he seems to have given up the ghost lately. So whatever.
Yeah. Okay. That's okay. If it was a European match, he'd be there, right?
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He's on his way back from the Costa Brava. He's been with the Arsenal for the last week on some sort of.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Because that's his job, isn't he? That's actually paid to be with them. He's not just doing it out of choice.
Yeah. Actually,
all right.
through his job, I've taken him to the airport a few times. So they've actually paid me as well, which is quite good as well.
Very nice. Lovely.
Anyway.
Oh dear. Okay, so we may end up just casting a slight eye back to the Eintracht Frankfurt game, but it's probably in relation to this Nottingham Forest game. But our main focus tonight is Nottingham Forest taking place tomorrow, and let's see how it's going to go. John, I'm of the opinion we're going to be making 4, 5, 6 changes. We're going to be saying we will be resting certain players and making sure that everyone is fit. Everyone will be, rotated to ensure that freshness is a thing. Anyone who's even slightly flagging will get some time on the sidelines. And then if that happens and we go on to lose, I suspect all the people who were saying, oh, he needed to rotate and fresh and he needed to make sure that everything is focused on getting the Europa League, they're going to throw the toys out the pram and be very unhappy. Am I wrong?
There's always going to be some people are unhappy. And some people apparently were unhappy that we won the other night.
I don't get that. Just don't understand.
The funny thing is in many respects, our season is the complete reverse now to what it was for the first half of the season. I.e., we've got gaps between matches. We've got most of our players back. And clearly the league matters very little now. And so, he can really rest the players and rotate that team. And of course, it makes a huge amount of sense. It gives a chance to give players like Richarlison a go. And it was good to see. I didn't realise he was going to be back. But Danso. Is it Danso?
Danso. Kevin Danso.
Yeah, Kevin. It gives a chance for him to maybe have a good run out tomorrow and stuff. So it all makes sense, to me. As I said to you before, ultimately, does it really matter? I mean, if we lose, I won't lose any sleep over it. But partly because it mucks up Chelsea, which is always important to me.
Would be nice, absolutely. Of course, we cannot get relegated now. We are officially safe from relegation on 38 points. I think we've got 38 points.
37, yeah.
37
points. Leicester lost. I think Ipswich can get 36, yeah. And that's it, yeah.
So only West Ham are in trouble now, I think. So, let's be realistic.
No, well, even that's not true because, yes, they could be caught. But Ipswich's goal difference is such that that's not going to happen. So those 3 are down, really. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but we knew that a while ago, right? I mean, there's no way that any of those 3 were going to stay up since probably before Christmas, because it was a really, really tough ask for them. But we're now safe, and being safe kind of gives us a little bit of an opportunity to rotate things. Now, against Wolves, I was perhaps a little bit harsh in calling it a nothing game. I understand people have paid money to go and watch the game, and they expect to have a strong team out there, a team good enough to actually go on and win it. But as somebody that goes yourself and puts your money down, would you be unhappy if the team was rotated to try and make sure that we had the very best possible chance going into that Bodo Glimt game?
No, I definitely wouldn't, because I understand the situation we're in. And as I said, look, because the next 2 games against Forest and Liverpool, there is another side to the game, i.e., Forest by winning will push Chelsea out the Champions League places. Liverpool winning will guarantee them the title, so it stops Arsenal. Although that they're going to win the title anyway. So I always want Spurs to win, but when you have this double edge, like it was against Man City last season, and when they beat us at the end of the season, but part of me says, well, so be it. I always want us to win, but I really wouldn't care. No, not wouldn't care. I mean, I would expect him to rotate, and I expect to see the likes of Richarlison and Dance coming into the team. It's as simple as that. And I really will not cry over the fact if Forest win. In fact, I almost expect them to win because they're going to be very motivated tomorrow. They know how important that game is to them now. And
they definitely want that fourth spot.
Yeah,
they're so close. I'm sure they can taste it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame for them that they've had the. I mean, I don't know. I'm not. I know this is not a Nottingham Forest chat, but I mean, they were very unlucky when they lost to Villa a couple of weeks ago, and they've had, and then they had that late defeat against Everton. So it's a shame because really that they deserve to be in the Champions League. To be honest, and I'd like them to get there. I certainly like them to be there over Chelsea.
Absolutely. But hey, okay. So with that in mind, obviously, we win. Let's say we go out and we put a good account of ourselves. Maybe we don't win the game, but we put in a good performance. All right. We've then got a week's break or 5 or 6 days break until we play Liverpool next Sunday. They could already be crowned champions by then, right? Because they've got a midweek fixture.
Yeah. Well, Arsenal got a midweek fixture, yeah. So if Arsenal
got a midweek
lose,
fixture.
Yeah. If Arsenal lose, which is unlikely, I mean, Arsenal in a sense are in the same boat as us. They know that the league is over, and obviously it's all about their match against PSG now. So they will rotate, and you can see in their match against who was their match at home recently, and they drew 1-0. Can't even think who it was. They played somebody. Was it Bournemouth?
Bournemouth?
Yeah, it might have been Bournemouth. Yeah. And they drew, I mean, as a whole, the Premier League, in many respects, is sort of like it's filtering out into a nothing season because the title's been won. We know who's been relegated, and really the only real interest now is who's going to get what in Europe, and obviously not from the Premier League point of view, but whether Spurs or Man United can get something out of this season. Amazingly so,
Yeah, Man United have a tough one up against Bilbao, right? So it's going to be big ask for them.
Well, let me ask you a question actually, because I was having this debate with somebody else. If please God we get to the final, okay?
Right.
If we get to the final, who would you rather play?
I mean, we play Man United all the time, every single season, and we've beaten them twice this year.
No, we're 3 times beaten them this year.
Three times this year we've beaten them. Genuinely, I think I'd probably be more worried about playing them because just the chances of beating them 4 times in a season just seems a bit too much. So for the spectacle, for the joy of playing a different team, and for it not to be wiped out, because I would hate for it to be belittled. Because I can see if we went and we beat Manchester United in the final, the cry from the public would be, "Oh, but it wasn't a good Manchester United team. They were on a poor season themselves. They weren't a good Manchester United side." Bilbao, they'll be at home. They'll have everything behind them. They'll be fully on for it. There'll be no excuses. There'll be no kind of, throwing a little bit of shade our way if we go on and win it. So I want to play.
I don't think there will be that. I mean, if it was a Spurs Man United final, without a shadow of a doubt, the build up to the final will be, as I already written about it on in the group, it'll be known as the El Sacchio match because there's a good chance whoever loses is definitely going to lose their job. As it is, even if we was to win the competition, personally speaking, now I think we should say thank you to Ange. And then go our merry ways, if I'm honest. you know, if we play Bilbao, I think they're a better team than Man United. And what worries me is that they will, although I know it's on their in their stadium, and in theory it should be
Mm.
split 50-50, but we know they're going to be more than there's going to be of
Oh
us
yeah,
in
of
that
course.
stadium. So that's an advantage they will have. And so it's difficult because, as I said, I think the chances of us beating Man United 4 times in one season, you just know sod law. Plus the other factor is, like it or not, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Tottenham, trying
Yeah.
to win that trophy. Man United, for at the end of the day, they've got over the line the last 2 seasons, first in the League Cup 2 years ago, and in the FA Cup last season. So they've got that advantage in a sense. Hey, look, who knows? It depends whether it's turn up and all that lot. But there's all these things. Look, at the end of the day, whoever we get, just hope Tottenham turn up, give the best account of themselves, and we go on and win it. I hope.
Yeah, yeah. I think, we can't predict. We can try, but we can't predict who we're going to get. Let's just see who we end up facing in the final, if we even get that far. I mean,
Yeah,
Bodo Glimt
exactly.
should not be.
Yeah.
Bodo Glimt should
No.
not be ruled out. They'd beaten
Uh,
Lazio. They'd beaten Roma. They beat Celtic twice when Ange Postecoglou
They,
was
they
there.
beat they beat Porto.
They beat
Uh,
Porto.
yeah,
They've beat some very good sides, and going away
yeah,
to their stadium is not an easy ask.
yeah.
So
Well,
let's not call
let's
that one a foregone
no.
conclusion.
Let's hope we can get a decent enough advantage at Tottenham. I
Yeah.
think they've got 2 or 3 suspensions as well because of their players pick
Two
up
key
foot.
midfielders are out. Yeah,
So that's a good thing for us, obviously.
yeah.
As a Spurs fan, I never count any bloody match as a foregone conclusion. I have to look back at Tamworth on the plastic pitch to know that
Yeah,
how near was we to losing that match. So you know whatever. But we're all
it
Spurs
was not
fans, are
easy.
we? No, exactly.
But the Tamworth plastic pitch is a different generation to the pitch that Bodo Glimt have. So at
Is it?
least it will be a better quality plastic pitch and similar to the one that Spurs train on. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll get something,
I, I,
that
I
works
I
our way.
wish I wish I could go to the match because but it's I think 8 or 9 thousand capacity stadium, so I very
8,000,
much
yeah.
doubt I very much doubt whether I'd be able to get a ticket, and even if I could, getting out there is going to be problematical, or if not, and I'm very expensive. And but
Yeah.
I was reading up on it. It sounds like it's a really good place to visit. It's just outside, I think, the Arctic Circle and all that lot. And, it'd probably be a really fascinating kind of place to go to, but it's not going to happen. I just have to watch it on television like most
Yeah.
of us will.
It is in the Arctic Circle, but I believe we've previously played in the Arctic Circle before. We did okay though. We won 2-0 against Tromsø a few years
Yeah,
ago.
that
Yeah.
actually was, and that was in winter as well,
Cold.
wasn't it?
It was
Yeah,
cold,
yeah.
cold.
I I
Yeah.
I had friends who went to that. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Wow. It makes me shiver just thinking about it. But yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so very quickly, what are your thoughts on this Nottingham Forest game? We're going to win, draw, lose. What's going to happen?
I think we're going to lose. I think we're
Yeah.
going to lose because they're going to be very driven.
Yeah.
And the only thing that will let them down is that maybe the nerves are getting the better of them. They've had 2 defeats. Chelsea put the pressure on now by winning today. But other than that, I think you know I think they'll be driven more than we will be. It'll be a bit of a funny atmosphere. Be a bit of a funny atmosphere. I mean, it was what was our last home game besides the cup game? Oh, the Southampton match.
Southampton?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Southampton. I mean, it was such a nothing atmosphere. It was so quiet, and obviously the cup match was good. But I'd imagine the Forest game is going to be something similar. I imagine. The Forest fans will back their team. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. I don't think there's any protest planned, but I mean, I do hope that, the fans are getting behind the players because we need to get a head of steam up. Even if we don't win this game, we need to get a feel good feeling about the club, around the stadium again. And I think going in and having any negativity will not help us in that first leg. So, let's hope for a good performance. Let's hope that it's a tight one, or just a massive Tottenham blowout win. That would be great. But like you, I can see Nottingham Forest winning this one. They've got they've got the edge at the moment. Their form is much better than ours. They've got the reason to really go for it, whereas we've got reason to kind of sit back and not get injured, which I think has been the issue with some of our games recently. Players
Oh, I'm
slightly different
sure.
mindset. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's definitely been the case. You know, it's well, I mean, I'm just I just hope that I'll just be glad when the season's over and done with. I mean, you know, it'd be fantastic. Actually, I don't even notice that the final of the
Yeah.
Europa League is actually before the end of the season. So I think we play the finals on the Wednesday and then we play Brighton on the Sunday. I think that's how it works out.
I
So
think that's
that's
right.
going to be,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, so who knows? It might. I don't want to jump ahead, but you know, might be a fantastic atmosphere against Brighton on the
It
final
might,
game of the
absolutely.
season. Yeah,
But let's get to the final first and then let's see how it
yeah,
goes.
yes,
John, thank you very, very much for joining us tonight. As I
that's
said,
all
it's
right.
just going to be a quick one. We
Yeah,
will be back on Tuesday night. We'll be doing another pod. We'll be talking about the outcome, the result of this Nottingham Forest match. And come on, boys, give us something to shout for. Come on, you
come
Spurs.
on, you Spurs. Okay. Bye.